And welcome back to yet another week of Spilled Ink. This time I get to run the show because Bloxdorf is missing because he's going to go to a concert, skipping work for fun, I guess, or whatever. Um, and today we've got a bunch of people. We got Aaron popping in late as the surprise guest, and then we've got Hobbes coming soonish. He's on his way, so we'll throw him in soon. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and do our round table. If you guys want to, introduce yourself, talk about whatever you've got going on, and do an early plug. That's totally cool too. So we'll start with Anton. What's up, my man?
How's it going? Anton Blake. I'm doing some weird, very experimental comics today. I've barely got a plan. Just feel like doing something really off the cuff. But I've got a little sneak preview. Zethia Space Witch issue 3 is in print and debuting next weekend at Staple Independent Media Expo in Austin.
Let's go.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I think Brandon just did Cats, Comics, and Coffee on Zethia too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, and then let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna check and see. No, that just pulls my screen up, which I don't want to do. Okay. Sorry for the scuffed mobile viewers. I don't know what this camera layout is, but it is what you are living with. Sorry. Go watch on a computer, please. And then we got Austin over there in the corner doing some digital art. What's up?
Hello.
What do you got going on?
So I'm working on page. Hold on, I full screened us while I was listening to everybody. Page 34 of this upcoming issue of Indie.
Dope. How many pages is it going to be? You said you're on page 34?
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's going to be about 50 pages is where I want to land it. And I think, as far as I can tell, it seems like that's where it'll end up. Maybe more, maybe less, but right in the 50-page spot.
And then are you going to do like back matter or anything, or just solid 50 pages?
Like bonuses? Or
yeah, just because this is a craft question, because 50 is like that weird spot between Saddle Stitch and Perfect Bound.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was wondering if you were trying to bump it up into Perfect Bound territory, or just going to go with a real thick double issue.
Well, the stretch goal is to have the floppy comic be a Perfect Bound. So if it does good on the Kickstarter, we'll make it Perfect Bound.
Very sweet. So yeah, there's a great reason to go and check it out and back it. And we got art of Victor Medina. What's up, Victor? Happy to have you here. And sweet, Aaron, what do you got going on?
Well, I've got some Baby Huey drawings here. Because I thought of what's the character that people would least likely want fan art of, and I came up with Baby Huey. So I'm going to be using these to scare away people from my table. Here's your classic Baby Huey, and then here is your Baby Huey as Cable.
Oh, hell yeah, that's it.
I keep threatening to do a Baby Huey zine, so maybe that is in the cards. But I'm also I'll probably work on Baby Huey, but I'm also working on another 6-pager with Wesley the Robot too, because he can never be too far away. I actually just posted the Halloween special on my Global Comics, so if you want to read the Wesley the Robot Halloween special on Global Comics, just type that stuff in and be able to read the whole thing for free.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool, dude. Yeah, you should do like mock it up as if it's one of those like off-brand horror movies for
Oh
like the
yeah.
main characters. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty funny.
I think he's not quite in public domain yet, but does anybody really care?
And so it's bootleg. So what? Who cares?
I just want the most off-putting, like my pitch with this, because I've got a couple other people to do some Baby Huey stuff, is like other people are doing their cool bootlegs. They're doing their bootlegs of Ninja Turtles and Batman and Spider-Man. I want to do a bootleg that no one asked for, that no one thinks is cool, that maybe nobody will even like. But so it's going to happen.
Very awesome.
Thank you.
And Punk Rock Kris, what's up,
Yes.
man?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. We're starting some paneling and some penciling on this guy, and we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
But what are you working on?
I am working on storyteller pages for AHA right now. Horror anthology. It's live. We're at like 78 backers as of today.
Damn, very good.
Yeah.
Well, sweet dude. What's the name? What's the name of the project so people can go check it out and back it?
AHA.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm drawing and I'm thinking and I'm hosting and I'm not used to the hosting part. So
No, you're good, man.
We got Retro Roman Doomsday. What's up, man? Happy to have you here too. Hope you've been doing well. So anybody got shows coming up, or is it just Kickstarter season right now and everybody's got stuff on Kickstarter?
Well, I'm launching on my first like big show.
Oh, sweet.
So it's kind of both. I went to a really big show in Chattanooga with a lot of the dub One Piece voice actors and Courage the Cowardly Dog voice actors, several like Sting and Kane, because there's like a anime wrestling collab kind of convention.
Oh,
That's
very
cool.
interesting.
It was really fun as a convention, but like as a seller, nothing was moving.
That
I
sucks.
think it's just because like anime buyers, they know what they want. Like when I went to conventions for an anime convention, I was like looking for fan art of my characters that I liked. I wasn't really paying attention to original, 100% original stuff.
Yeah, and it's also like, that anime and manga crossover, right? It's like so everybody's pretty hooked on manga, and there's not a huge crossover between like manga and comics and or anime and comics too. So it's tricky to try and find your buyer.
I also kind of like had things really set up weird. I had too much going on the table. There's some aspects I probably could have improved, but overall, there was a lot of disinterest.
Yeah, table setup is an art, and getting it to look both appealing while also like being able to display everything you have on like a 6-foot table.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else has like tips or tricks that they have with tabling.
Go ahead.
I have a literature stand that is, I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 different levels, but it's wire, so there's lots of space to put stuff on there, and I just keep everything super minimal. I don't know if this will work for everybody, but I set up my tablecloth and I have my extendable banner that I I put up, and it doesn't take me long at all to get set up and just kind of stand next to it. But everything's right there, and so since it's so easy to set up, then I feel like I'm like ready to go, and I can just kind of hang out and maybe be a better seller because I'm more calm, I guess, than if I was setting up a big setup. I mean, that seems to work for me. Mileage will vary.
Anton, you had some tips too?
Yeah, something I do. I mean, mileage may vary on this based on what you have available to you, but my dining table in my apartment happens to be 6 foot wide or 6 foot long. So if I'm changing up my setup or I have a bunch of new stuff that I need to accommodate for, I'll like a week or so before just essentially try out my setup and see how it feels, just like looking at it, how it flows together and fits within the table frame. So that helps. Obviously, if you don't have like a good table space at home, similar size to that, you might have to improvise a little bit on how you do that. But finding ways of testing out your setup can be really good.
Yeah, for sure. I have a table. Like, there are a lot of events I have to go to bring your own table.
Yeah.
You have one that would like suit that. Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed is like bigger shows, whether it be anime or like comic, pop culture, whatever, like those can be like especially difficult, like to find the right crowd. I personally avoid them because I looking at my stuff and looking at the kind of stuff that's there and does sell there, I figure it's just not the right crowd for my stuff personally. But that can be like a difficult thing to pinpoint at times too. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this will be my second big show. So I haven't really tested it out a whole lot yet. And then I have like a completely different table approach. We're just going to see what happens. But like, yeah, one of my best shows was when I was still posting on Webtoon, and all I had was stickers and t-shirts, and I just sold so many stickers and t-shirts. And I was like, wow, imagine if I had all this other stuff, to sell, and then I get all the other stuff, and then it's like, I feel like the table's just all of a sudden too, analysis by paralysis, or or paralysis by analysis or whatever. So you're like a little overwhelmed with what's on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, well, okay, maybe I just need to like focus on just some things.
That's a good way to go, I think.
Yeah, or you can create zones on your table too. So like, all of the specific type of stuff is in one corner, and then all your prints are behind you, and then all your like wearable merchandise is in another area. Because I usually when I table, I end up like hosting other people at my table, or like I have a lot of different mediums of stuff, and so like kind of creating zones for people to gather in helps too. But like when I table, I hate setup and takedown for the most part. Like I just want to like do it quick and be done. I don't want to be there for 4 hours setting up my table. And so I end up like thrifting old luggage, and then I stage it like in the luggage and then close it up. And so when I get there, pretty much all I have to do is pop open the luggage and then stage it, and then it's good to go. And then it's also like kind of like a cool like table decoration, and it fits in the aesthetic of everything that I do. So that gets a lot of attention and likes too.
Oh yeah.
Well, one thing that I'm really curious to see how it works is in the Comix launch course, they recommend that when you make a print, you have prints that are like specific. And just an example is like taking a location, a landmark, and then putting that landmark in the print somewhere, with preferably like a known superhero, just Spider-Man or Ninja Turtles or something. But
Oh, interesting.
for me, I my town, like, this is a pretty much a local show in Huntsville, and one of the landmarks is the Saturn V rocket from the Space and Rocket Center. So I just put that in the background of one of my indie prints, and I'm giving away a small version of it and then selling the large version of it.
That's
And
cool.
with the Kickstarter, if anybody backs any tier on the Kickstarter, I'll give them a free print. So I'm curious to see how these tactics work.
Yeah, it's all troubleshooting and like time and experience and doing it over and over again to figure out what actually works for you. Oh, that's what's missing. We don't have the lo-fi. That's what the problem is. I'm like, something's off. There it is. Let me throw it like there. That should be all right.
Here I was thinking I didn't have any mixed media to play with for this show. And at the last second, I looked down and Baby Huey was looking up at me from the floor, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. So what are you using on that, Aaron? Are they just markers?
These are Art X markers.
Mm.
I found out about these by watching the Comic Tropes guy, Chris Pierce, and his family got him a set of these, and I was, anytime there's a new fun art supply, I'm like, oh, I got to check that out, and they're very affordable. So picked up a set, and they're very smooth. Like they're acrylic markers. They don't have like the most opaque coverage, but you don't have to shake them or anything, and they're just what they are.
It's a pretty glowing endorsement.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I like them. Easy to use. The case is a little weird because it comes off the top, like the top is huge, and then this much of the marker is exposed. But whatever. It's just making me think of all my research into Baby Huey. Have you guys watched much of the cartoons?
No.
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
Some of them are weirdly disturbing. Baby Huey takes the face off of a wolf character, I think, and then it's just his skull.
Hell yeah. I'm into that.
It's not what I expected. It was much more hardcore than I expected Baby Huey to be. But maybe I'll have to exploit some of that. But there's been more off-putting cartoons in the past than I guess.
I just think there needs to be more children's horror out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day.
Should not want to go to bed and feel safe.
Yeah. See, Baby Huey was born out of those shows where things are not going well, sales wise. So being friendly to the customer is not working. So you have to start antagonizing the customer.
Have you seen that restaurant that does that? where they're just like totally rude to you, and that's like their whole gimmick?
I have seen a bit of that. Yeah. I don't quite go to that thing, but I just like turn like the weirdness up to like 11. You know, I just go for interactions at that point. But you never know. Like if somebody has like a funny interaction with you, they might be like, "Oh, okay, what are you selling?"
What's up, Hobbes? Happy to have you here. Sorry to keep you waiting. I didn't know.
Hi, everybody.
He's right.
Hey.
Did you finish your skateboard?
I did. I don't have it now.
Huge.
I had to turn it in. I made some posts on Instagram. I think it came out really cool. But I'm also really happy to not be working on it. So, but yeah, the auction started yesterday or the day before, and there's already a bid on it. It's like $500, so I'm happy.
Damn. Very good.
Yeah,
I finished.
but I put the first bid on it for $100 because I didn't want it to go away.
I finished my fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this thing's pretty crazy.
Dang, dude,
I finished up all that gray wash and stuff.
that is
Put some
wild.
white ink on there, and yeah, it's done now.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, so on to the next thing. It never ends.
Was that just normal paper? Like, what were you doing that on?
This is 16 by 20 Strathmore heavyweight drawing paper is what it is. Yeah, it held up pretty well. It's a little warped, you know, but really not that much given what I put on here, you know.
Yeah. Nice job. It looks good.
Thank you.
So I was listening to you guys talk about tabling at cons,
Yeah.
and the way I started, I've tried so many different things, and I have come all the way full circle, and now I just put my books on a table, and that's it. I just put them flat, and I just make a grid of my books, and then it's like, here I am. I have books. Talk to me about my books. Like, there's nothing else. Like, and I don't know. I think it actually is working better than anything else I've done in the past.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Because I remember like doing my first Zine Fest, and we had free button pins that we made. We had 2 tiny zines, and then like a handful of stickers, and we almost sold out because we just had, you know, essentially 1 free item and 2 paid items and some little bonuses or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just easy to comprehend. They check out the 1 or 2 thing and they say, I like this, and they buy it. And then it's that when you present too many choices or too much chaos, it's hard to absorb in the like 30-second glance that you get.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I got hung up on too is like having all this other stuff and like, you know, trying to refocus on why am I here to begin with? And it's to sell, you know, my creator owned whatever that is that I was working on. And so if I had other stuff, then it takes away from that focus. That way, if people stop, you know that they're actually interested in the thing that you have with you, instead of some other kind of auxiliary thing that you made, you know, to try to grab attention or whatever. So I don't know. I'm happy with it too, because it's like so much easier to pack up and go. Like, I just have a box of books and that's what I do.
Love that.
I've had mixed results. Like I said, very similar situation with my first convention. It was a smaller convention, but like I sold tons of stickers and some zines and t-shirts. That's like all I had, and just 1 design of a t-shirt, not like several. And then I've done well at conventions where I have the same stuff. Like I just like I had the stuff like more updated stuff that I have now. Just it's like sometimes it's like if I go somewhere fresh, I sell way more. That's what it seems like it is. If I go to the same convention, in half a year or a year later, it always doesn't sell like as good as the first time.
Yeah, I get that. Maybe the same clientele.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm probably just going to start alternating conventions. Give that a shot as well. I do want to simplify the table, but I do like selling my Mothman print.
I generally don't like going to the same convention unless I have something new. Like if I don't have something new and it's been a year, then I've done something wrong.
I generally have new stuff. I just can't. It just a couple of things, and it just like doesn't grab people.
Yeah.
I might sell another issue of a comic, but that's not always the case, and then it doesn't cover my table. So.
Yeah. It's like my plan for this year. I'm just going to do some local stuff so far. And I did apply to IC3 in Rhode Island. I saw they just sent out the emails, and I did get into that. But that's the only other one besides like one in Syracuse and one in Rochester I'm going to go into.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a nice one in Ithaca too, Ithaca, New York, called Ithacon. But it's a 2-day, and I don't have a big new graphic novel, so I mean I might do okay. I don't know. I'm trying to simplify too, especially with like the way gas is.
Oh yeah. I've got a convention called Goblin Con in Kentucky in August. I'm gonna try out. I love the paranormal scene, and like that demonic ghost crowd tends to cross over.
Nice.
So I'm curious to see how that pans out too.
A few years ago out in Rochester, they still do it, but it's more like a small press publishing thing. So it's more like art books and like small press, like prose books and stuff like that. But I got into that right when I self-published like my big graphic novel of Was It a Robot, and sold out at that show, which was awesome. But then the next year they were like, well, we also have a Comic-Con in Rochester, so we want to focus more on book people for the show. So I didn't get it.
Damn.
Like, but I did so well. Just let me back in. It's okay. We have been thinking about converting things over to zine format. Like, or actually, I always say I'm going to do this, but then I never do it. Of like debuting something in a zine format first
To try and test it.
Yeah, or like to see how people react to it in zine format, or just because the cost is like so low to do that.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I've done that before, and it's been pretty handy. Or I'll offer two versions. You know, here's the nicely finished, polished version of a book, and here's like the black and white raw scans that I self print. You know.
Yeah,
and it's kind of a different audience, and then collectors want both. You know, and it's a cool little extra product to have.
Yeah, and the thing I like about that too is like with tariffs and everything and all the stuff that's going down. Like, it'd be nice to have it in a format where, like, I can just stay after work and just run off a bunch of them and just staple them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, freaking these guys take up so much work, dude. these little gag zines,
Oh yeah.
you know. You can do it super easy if you wanted to, you know. I just went the extra mile to do this, but like,
Yeah, those
you know, you just spend a weekend separating everything and collating and stapling, and then you have a bunch of books, you know. And it's pretty nice, and it's also like a relaxing thing to do, or like you could get like your kids or like your friends in on it, and like just buy a pizza or whatever, and then have them help you.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Because I have the job as an art teacher, I feel like a lot of my gear is like overpowered for what I'm doing. Like I actually already have a spinner rack that I could, like, if I just had converted a bunch of my stuff to zines or broke apart a big book into like 3 zines, that I could populate this like little. It's a postcard spinner rack, but I could make it into like a comic spinner rack, like a miniature, and sell off that.
That would be pretty sick.
Just had to make it that size. But everybody likes the mini comics. Like DC is doing the compact comics. A whole bunch of these companies are starting to make Western comics in like a close to manga size. So I just think like that's the future, potentially.
Yeah, stuff that's like pocket size and easily digestible is pretty popular.
Yeah.
Big stuff is scary to people.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned that with my fish prints because
Mhm.
they're 11 by 17.
Yeah.
And so like you know, it's like, okay, well, how are you going to carry this around the rest of the day?
Right.
And so we usually roll them up and put them into like some bags that we have and whatever for people to carry. But it's still like intimidating. It's like, what are you going to do with this big print versus like something that's smaller that they can just tack up under their wall, or, you know, or maybe they're too worried about how much it costs, even though it's not that much.
Right.
They're just like, oh, it's too big. I can't get that.
I always think about, because I used to listen to Cartoonist Kayfabe when that was on, of Jim Rugg talking about his early Street Angel zines and stuff. And one of the missions of him doing that is he wanted to deliver production value that was much higher than the physical format. And so I actually have to like hunker down and actually deliver on that because I love that concept. Which I think you've done with the gag zine as well.
Well, thank you. There's some stuff that's going to be fixed for issue 2 that bugged me, and hopefully I've streamlined the process.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a headache because it's a very different way of like formatting and having to cut it down and stuff than I'm used to.
I think I just narrowly escaped my daughter pretending to be a sheep. But she did hit her knee escaping, so. Poor sheep.
Something I've noticed too on that like note of the smaller form factor stuff. Like I'm also in the indie TTRPG scene, and so many newer RPGs are printing at like A5 or Digest or like anything like that, like avoiding the same big like size that like D&D uses and shit, just because those books can feel like really unwieldy, take up so much table space and all that, like when you're trying to use them. It's been neat to see also just like how people try to fit a full games rule book into a smaller package.
That is interesting. I do like the different formats. I got I've actually never read Akira, so I'm like reading that right now, and I got him. Yeah, I know, but
no, you're doing it. That's the important part.
Yeah, but I got the first 4 volumes through interlibrary loan in my library, and the format size is I really like the size of the format. Actually, go grab it. I feel like this is maybe normal comic book size.
Yeah, it's very close to.
But I just love the paper stock in here. I don't know what year this edition came out. It's like nicely yellowed. It's just so spongy. It's like, oh, it's so good. And you can just... I mean, everybody knows this already because they even made a movie out of it, but like the print is so cinematic and it flows exactly like a movie.
Yeah, I have the same edition of all the Akira books. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I mean, I've seen the movie, but it helps it builds more context.
Oh yeah. Just wait till you get to the parts where Otomo was working on both the manga and the anime at the same time.
Does it get kind of sparse, or can you tell there's assistance or something?
No, there. I mean, it stays consistent, but it's an interesting thing because like from I think the manga continued like 2 years after the anime had come out.
Oh wow!
And obviously, since it's like thousands of pages long, and the story has to be way more condensed and changed for the anime. But it's interesting to think about. Like, I find it interesting, at least, to think about like the decisions that he would have been making as director of the movie and the creator of the manga, like at the same time, and like what differences he needs to be making for each of them to, tell the version of that same story that he wants to in that form.
Yeah, that is wild to be doing both of those things at the same time.
Oh yeah.
2 different editions. I mean, with stuff like the Walking Dead or Invincible or like other adaptations, at least like one version of it is finished and then you can adapt it. But they have both of them live at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And have the exact same person spearheading both.
Yeah.
Like all of the major creative decisions have to go through them for both.
I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have because it's successful, but still daunting.
Yeah, no, I think it's a cool thing. It is absurd to do that to yourself.
Me when I'm George R. R. Martin.
Think he'll ever finish it?
No.
No, he doesn't think he's going to finish it. So
why even try?
It says to me. Yeah. this point.
Apparently, some updates have come out that he is saying he's number one, admitting to the other projects getting in the way. Like before, he wouldn't like admit it. And then two, he's actually getting a little like lost in the sauce with his own story. Like make sure everything ties together neatly as he continues.
Well, it's like One Piece, right? It's like, you know, trying to figure out what the hell the One Piece is, and then once you figure it out, it's like, okay, that's the story, that's the end. You know, it's like it's better to just not even ever finish it or figure out what the One Piece is, and just let the story just do its thing.
Yes. Oh, there's actually a graphic novel I always say is my favorite when people ask me. It's this book called Bags. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's from the Emmy Award-winning creator of Over the Garden Wall, Patrick McHale. But it's a story about this guy who loses his dog, John Mox. He has a dog named Beth. And he just loses his dog. And then he goes on a quest to find his dog. And he comes across this walrus who's like at a dump, who just has like all these bags of stuff. Do you guys think you'd ever read this?
It looks good.
Like, yeah, I'm kind of
Absolutely.
interested. I guess when you said guy did Over the Garden Wall, my attention kind of like peaked a little bit more.
But I don't want to give it if you guys might read it, I don't want to give it away. But it's a lot like life, where it's just like, oh, that happened, and now it's over.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love that, though.
Oh, yeah.
That
Kind of thing.
Well, it's kind of like an and this story, right? It's like this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. Which, like, they tell you not to do, you know?
That's literally what The Walking Dead is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, that resonates with me because I think that's like my writing style, where it's like, and then this happens, and then this happens. It's another reason why I love Flaming Carrot. If you guys have ever read Flaming Carrot, it still has all this, like, it's absurd, but it's like sad and like reflective and funny. And the art is so poppy that it just, I don't know. I just like stuff like that.
Oh man, I don't even remember what they're saying in this panel. I want him doing something more than just standing there. I want him kind of behind a tree, but like then I have to do all this over again, like the whole side. I don't really know. I don't think it's that deep.
It could be.
I recently reworked the background of a panel because I was like, they made two panel backgrounds two different and like the same scene. So I redid it, and after I did all that, I was like, is anybody even going to notice that?
Literally. That's why I'm like the Japanese and being a mangaka, like they got it figured out. They just send it. They just full send it. For the most part. Some of them don't. Some of them are a little bit more meticulous. But a lot of them are just like, good enough. Keep it going.
And some of that stuff, like when you look back at it, like is the stuff that's really cooking. Too. Like anybody who's ever heard me talk before knows I always talk about the Mark Silvestri, Dan Green era of Uncanny X-Men and how they were cranking out 2 issues a month. But like that stuff looks so good, like to me personally. Like it's like bare bones, but it's got all the stuff it needs, and the inking is dynamic. You can work it nice. It's got just enough.
Exactly.
How do I follow my own advice and do that? No, I don't.
It's hard to just say it's good enough.
Yeah.
It's real hard.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking when you guys were talking about that. It's like I think of like Mignola, right?
Yeah.
And I also think about Dave Baker,
Yeah.
because both of those guys have developed a process of working in a style that does so much of the heavy lifting for them, and then it lets them put out really good looking stuff at a prodigious pace, right? And when you develop something that's more realistic or more rendered or whatever it is, right, it's going to take a ton more time to figure out and make it look good, versus if you just like draw the way that you draw and let it like just come out of you and work at that pace. Sometimes you make some pretty incredible stuff. It's like taking the mind block off of making art. If you have the ability to not judge whatever you're making, you're gonna make a lot more stuff a lot faster and probably a lot better.
That is correct. I think I'm still in that phase where I want to prove to people I can draw. Like it's not like no, look, I know how to draw. Like check it out.
I really can. I can really do it.
Now, my art may have been selling my comic a lot at the time when people pick it up, because that'll be the first thing that they're like, oh, this art's great. I like this.
Same, I think, for me. Although sometimes, like I've been told that my ideas are unhinged. I don't think that they're unhinged, but they're humorous, right? So that gets people's attention.
Well, I just made an article about this on Substack, where I'm like, am I desensitized to my own stuff? Because like I just make it, and like if the guy's scalp comes off, it comes off. Like I can't do anything about that, so I'm just gonna draw it, and it doesn't bother me at all. And then if a monster's gonna snap a girl in half, it's gonna snap a girl in half. But I've had people be like, man, this is kind of dark. Are you okay? I feel okay.
I mean, in the broader context of that kind of stuff, I mean that stuff exists in many different kinds of media.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like no precedent, right? Especially if you're doing horror genre, like there's the pressure to do like good kills or whatever.
Yeah, to me, it's just another day at the office, but then I'll have people be like concerned.
I have a couple horror stories I'd like to do at some point. And one of them is kind of based around the kills, but I don't want to give that one away. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't like talking about my future ideas because then I feel like I do not want to do them. I talk about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always scared to too, but I don't think that there's actually a valid reason to be scared.
Like I'll talk to my buddies about the idea because like sometimes saying it out loud can like fix the parts that don't work or like crystallize the parts that do, and you can. Construct more memory of the story.
Do you guys have stuff about your art that you like try and fix and focus on all the time, or is it like constantly shifting, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Shit.
Yeah, like I try to make my profiles look not horrible. Like a natural profile, I will be like, that's not right, and I'll go get some reference.
Everything that I don't know how to do, I just try to do it. I try my best, and maybe I will have some muscle memory develop and do it better next time.
I think that's one of the hardest problems, is finding time to like get better at doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because I find that a lot of times, like if I have any free time, I want to just move forward on whatever project's at hand. I don't have time to like sit down and focus on like, okay, how do I fix this? How do I make it better? Or it's like, well, this is how this project is, but I'm going to learn from this, and hopefully next time I'll remember the lesson I learned and it'll be better. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, for me, it's mostly like anatomy stuff, and then just like drawing, background stuff. Like it's, figuring out how to get through drawing a crowded scene, or pretty typical stuff. But I just try to draw around it, which is also not a good excuse. Like okay, well, I'm just going to zoom in on that crowded scene, so there's only so many people that I have to draw. Or I'm not going to set my time period during modern times, so there's no cars, and that fixes that problem. So, like, I don't know. That's not like a good solution, but at the same time, it is, it is what it is. Like, it frustrates the heck out of me not having time to get better. And I don't know. I don't know what the solution to that is.
Mignola did that. He didn't want to draw cars, so he didn't. He was like, any way that I could avoid it, I did. I don't think it's a rule you have to, but I did have a scene where they were in the interior of a car having a conversation. It's actually popped up twice, and I just slogged through it. And like, I don't do practice. Like I might sketch a little bit in the sketchbook, but usually I make the thumbnail in the sketchbook, and then it's straight to on Clip Studio.
If you had more time, do you think you would practice?
No.
I think every book is practice. Every time you do a panel, that's practice.
100%.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more like when you're in, in art school, you're taking your classes, you're doing studies of all sorts of different things just to, get better.
Well,
and because I know where some of my weaknesses are, and like I feel like I could hammer on those, but it would take away from moving forward.
I think that it might just be also like sketchbook time,
Mm-hmm.
like when you're in bed or like just hanging out after dinner or whatever.
I'm in bed, I'm asleep.
But like after dinner or whatever, and
Also asleep.
then you gotta stay. Then you can't sleep, man.
Yeah, I know.
Then you got to get up early.
Yeah, but I think you every chance you get, you open that sketchbook and hang out and draw.
Yeah.
It's a hard pitch to make to yourself. you know,
Yeah.
to say, oh, I have 10 minutes of spare time. I'm going to open up my sketchbook and draw.
Yeah. I did that this year with faces and eyeballs specifically. Wow. Did a lot of watching David Finch doing drawing tutorials, and I went through an entire 150-page sketchbook just drawing eyeballs in different positions and then faces in different positions, and it really paid off. But God, was it a slog to get through.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's what the kind of thing you have to do to really get better is you have to put in the time and the effort, and then you reap the rewards forever. So it's really worth it.
Yeah. And then I decided to draw a fucking marionette instead of a person as my main character. But I know where to bend him and make him weird and absurd now. That's the other side of that.
Yeah, because once you know how to do it right, and then you can distort it and manipulate it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Just like Sam Keith, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Found. You guys ever go on archive.org? Are you guys familiar with archive.org? It's like
I do not download ROMs from that site.
Huh?
I got you, Hobbes.
I would never download ROMs from that site or old issues of Nintendo Power. That would be a mistake.
Well, it's okay, so you know what I'm talking about then. But there's so many comics on there. I actually found Sam Keith's Earth War, Aliens Earth War, on there that I didn't even know he did. He did a 4-issue miniseries, and it looks really good. So I've been reading that on there.
What's it called?
Earth War.
Earth War.
And it picks up almost right after the end of Aliens. So it's so far it's a better sequel than Alien 3.
Nice.
For a while there, I was super interested in Jeffrey Catherine Jones's work.
Oh yeah. And
I ended up using the Wayback Machine to go look at their old website and see all the process stuff that they had on there, which was really, really cool to look at. But it's also a pain in the ass to use. But it's it's neat to see an artist's website that doesn't really have a lot of work out there. It was very, very interesting.
I see a lot of their stuff because I also buy. There are these Archive 404 Vintage Vault that they'll sell CBR files or PDF files of heavy metal. And all this stuff that are just it's impossible to get. I mean, it's not impossible, but way too expensive to get a full run of those to read physically. And I'll see a lot of their stuff pop up, some short stories.
So what is the Wayback Machine? How does that work?
It essentially utilizes people taking it's essentially a screenshot of what a website used to be like, and then it records the date and time, and then categorizes it into a folder or whatever, and then so you would go there and then you put in a URL, right? And most famously you do YouTube or whatever, right? Or another big site. And so you'd put in youtube.com, and then it would give you all these options of the date. And so you could pull stuff from month one of YouTube, and then 2 years down the line and 5 years down the line up till present day, and you could see like the design changes that YouTube went through and what was on the front page and all this stuff. But it also exists for like a lot of other websites that don't exist anymore, So like you can't go to Jeffrey Catherine Jones's website anymore. But if you know what the URL used to be, and then you use the Wayback Machine, you can find certain snapshots of the website and still look at it.
Really cool.
It is really cool. Yeah. It's kind of like a time capsule of the internet.
Yeah. I always see that on archive.org. It's like there's a link to it. And I always put my search in there and I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah, it could be designed better. I will give you that. What the utility of it? Like I've been like talking about drawing. I've been going through and trying to get like the Vern Hogarth, drawing books or constructive anatomy or like all these things that people have talked about, but I don't know if I've actually like read them. But they have downloadable versions of them to look at and flip through. I'm also lucky that I'm an art teacher, so a lot of the studies and stuff like that, I have to put into projects. So I kind of have that kind of baked into my day to try and improve on certain things, or at least try to be better than most of my students.
You should be intentionally worse.
Could you imagine? You could draw like a horrible face of like, Mr. Lee, really? Why are you our art teacher? And be like, I don't know, but I am.
Hey, who's instructing here?
Sit down. I'll be drawing the circles around here.
No, shut up. Go away now. You have had everything. Go away now.
This is my dog.
I really need to draw some plants. I don't think my plants hold up.
Plants are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going for something specific. Didn't you all go around and take pictures of buildings, trees, plants, shit like that?
Oh yeah.
I've learned how to draw trees just from drawing the place that I live at. We've got, it's very Pacific Northwest in that there's all these huge, giant, old, evergreen style trees, pines and spruces and stuff. But like I just did a flower shop for Brandon's new book, and it's a pain in the ass. I think I mostly rely on generic ivy style plants to like just kind of create the illusion of foliage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted it to be more full, but I didn't know how to fill it with flowers that read as flowers and not just as like noise.
Mhm.
So it's pretty tough. But actually, I would look at landscape architecture art to learn how to draw like flowers and plant matter, because that's literally their job,
True. I deal with architects at work, and they do like a pretty picture. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But yeah, landscape architects, I mean, their whole job is to find the right flower for the right park in that area, and then they can tell you a lot scientifically, but also just like visually and appearance wise and aesthetically about the plant. I only know that because my dad is a landscape architect. And so it's been hammered into me.
That's fun.
Not really. I mean, like, oh yeah, it's fun. But I mean, like, he didn't really hammer it into me. It's more that like I got to see whatever drawings and plans he was working on.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Hi, puppy.
Exactly like your mother, but the difference is you get to learn from her mistakes. She wasn't talking about surgery. No, she wasn't.
Okay.
Surgery at all.
Oh yeah, when's the Comix Wellspring Spilled Ink EP gonna drop?
One more time.
Wasn't Brandon gonna work on an EP of like ambient music?
Oh, the Spilled Ink soundtrack.
Did you say Chilled Ink?
I said Spilled Ink, but Chilled Ink is pretty good too. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you up a bit. There we go.
Prefer my ink chilled.
Yeah, we're turning it into an ASMR channel.
With it's all the scritching of the nib on the paper.
Yeah.
That's gotta exist. Somebody's gotta be doing that.
Maybe.
I don't know why my mind went to just like an ASMR tutorial on like. And this is how we set up for the bleed.
untapped potential there.
Jeez. Don't like this.
One of the other things I struggle with is like doing like a tiny panel that also like is a farther away shot, you know. Trying to communicate stuff. It's so heavily reliant on composition to like tell what's going on.
Yeah, this could be tough.
I like doing silhouettes as often as I can fit them in.
Yeah.
I think they look really cool, and they help set a mood. They're less work. They seem like kind of a win-win. And just with the background behind it, you know, you just set the vibe with whatever color combination you use. So whenever I have like really small panels, or I just want to, you know, kind of like give it a break so it's all composition, I enjoy just kind of leaning into that.
I need to do more silhouettes. I agree. I think that they do work and they're nice.
And then with coloring too, like that's another thing I've kind of changed as I've learned more and more about what I like about color use is that just leaning into complete emotional color use, where it's whatever the feeling is, like that, those are the colors you use, instead of, you know, going with what would be more objectively happening in that panel. Like after you establish the colors that are in the panel or on the page, because I personally really don't like looking at all the same colors on the page, right? I like having those panels that are really popping and that, you know, that help tell the story, help give you more of the feeling that's happening in the story at that moment. And as an artist, it's just more fun because then I get to use different colors and experiment a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm always talking about like colors being more expressionistic rather than naturalistic. And I really like a limited color palette too.
Yeah, I think like when you set those boundaries, then you're creating an atmosphere. And so as long as you made the right choices, I think it's really good. When I first started, I was all like local color, you know, grass is green, sky is blue.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I was just trying to fill in the gaps because all I cared about was the black and white line art.
Yeah.
And just through, you know, experimenting and then finding other artists that do really cool stuff with color. I want to say like Richard Corbin was like the big color dude, and any of those sci-fi people, honestly, anybody illustrating a sci-fi novel or a fantasy book cover in the 80s, like A+ for me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I tend to if it's something for, well, when I started, I was still in school, so I was doing a lot of digital painting, and so that's where my renders went to. But it was just like a lot of work, and then like it still like didn't give me what I wanted. And then as soon as I started doing books, you know, and working in mass, I shifted over to limited color palette, very stylized, and like it's always kind of an experiment for me. So like my first book was only CMYK pure, so like I would use 100% cyan, 100% magenta, 100% yellow, and 100% black, and that was it. And then I did Family Man, and then I did like a rusty orange color, and then like a teal color. To try and give it like a vintage rusty feel. But I don't know. I just like spot colors. 1, 2. It just like makes my heart happy. From my work. It's like I don't have to worry about what colors I'm using. I just use these 1 or 2 colors and then tone it, and that's it.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, it just makes it easy.
Like I haven't really dove into color for my own stuff yet. I just do black and white, but I just drop a gray tone that doesn't overwhelm the black line, and then I take that really messy brush and just kind of paint in the highlights and stuff. And I try to keep it very painterly on purpose, because I think that like helps like the liveliness of the art. And then I also do flat.
I want to learn more too about like digital painting, because I feel like sometimes like black and white line art becomes too graphic.
Yeah.
And then because you're using lines to like encapsulate stuff, it can like lose some of that like I don't know, compositional or like maybe like that cinematic feeling, right? That I think that like you can do the line art and then go back over it with digital paints to kind of make it feel less solely like line arty and graphic-y. But that's something that I'm playing around with that I still don't fully understand.
I did get a comment when I posted my Halloween special, because of course somebody wrote like, "Oh, I love this. Have you ever thought about doing your work in color?" And it's like, yeah, but like costs more to produce and takes longer to do. I mean, I'm not like opposed to it, but I know I always think of like how The Walking Dead is doing their deluxe version in color. Like if it ever comes to that, maybe I'll do. Not that I expect to be as successful as Walking Dead. But who knows? Maybe I'll decide to color it, so then I can have a black and white version and a color version, or like a Bone or a Scott Pilgrim. I think more of that. Like,
I think that's a good idea.
You can call the black and white when the artist edition and sell it for more money too.
Yeah, it's true.
That's all in the marketing.
It really is. Damn.
Yeah, my logic is like, again, they're selling manga in masses across the world, and 90% of that is in black and white.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think it like makes or breaks your story.
No.
Yeah. The way I think of it is like I'm trying to make the bones as strong as I can.
Mhm.
Like the line art and the storytelling, and that's also what I'm doing. Like the way I'm doing my work now is like 6 or 8 pages at a time, or if like, I might do like a multi-parter, but like each part is like 6 pages, and then because I have a family and work and stuff, I'll give myself 6 months to get like a really good 6 or 8 pager done. And I can usually do more than that, but I feel like that's a good zone to stay in because then I can really kind of push the pages, or if something's not working, or I can get feedback from people. Because those, I probably talked about this before, but I just love like the old 2, 3 magazines. They have a 6 to 8 pager. Get in, get out from the story, and it's just like beautifully illustrated. Love that stuff.
I saw somebody talking about Dork, and I think that's kind of what they attributed to Dork being so successful, was that it is like a true monthly book. That you have like a beginning, middle, and end, and it makes sense and sells. Oh my goodness, puppies! Dashi, hey, all right, little one.
I still can't figure out how Dork was as successful as it was. I'm not saying it's not good. You know, I got the first issue and I enjoyed it, but it just hit the comics world like a hurricane.
I think it's just different. Is why, honestly.
So that's where I'm kind of like, well, it's kind of different, but I feel like there's lots of fantasy stories. There's that he's kind of got kind of a Scotty Young sort of look to his work.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, was it just that he put all the pieces in the right order, you know? Because it's not that anything about it was like that I'd never seen before, but maybe it was just in the arrangement of those things that they were put together that wasn't seen before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the way I see it, right, is like D&D and tabletop stuff is super popular right now, right? And between like Baldur's Gate and like all this stuff, right? It's just like fantasy is hitting hard right now. So there's your topic that's doing well, and it just hits the cultural zeitgeist, right? And then it looks different from everything that's on the shelf in terms of like it's not absolute Batman.
Right.
It's not a superhero book. It's cartoony. It's not realistic, you know. So then it stands out on shelves. It's got some great action in it. Just, you know, cartoony violence. And then it's also a complete story. You don't have to and it's issue 1. You know, so you don't have to read 30 other issues to understand what's happening. And you can also just take in the one story as it is and be satisfied. And so I think it makes for an enticing pickup. And like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about like, you know, in order to be successful to some extent, you have to be either the first at something, which you're almost never the first. You have to be the best at something, which you're almost never the best, or you have to be different. And I think that Dork is just different. I think what I really think is that it's kind of like Bone version 2.
Yeah.
You know, it's building on Bone for a new generation.
I mean, it's not targeted at the same audience. Bone was an all ages book.
True. That's
like
true.
This is definitely like 13 plus. You know, it's cartoony violence, but it's still, you know, you're not going to find that book in an elementary school like Bone.
Right.
So like the people picking it up are probably it's not
maybe it's
libraries
the same audience as Bone. Yeah. You know, it's just giving Bone back to the readers who love Bone.
Yeah,
they're older now, and then they can enjoy this. But like what essentially those two demographics are like kind of the same sort of people. But I don't know. You know, it's like between Absolute Batman and Dork. You know, those are like the two big comic hits.
I guess speculation plays a little bit into it because, like, after it sold out its first run, but I mean, it could only play so much, I think.
Well, I think the speculation helps just keep that snowball going.
Yeah.
You know. But do I think that book is going to actually be worth a bunch of money at the end of the day? Probably not. But do I really care? No, because it's getting like kids back into shops on a monthly basis. So I'm just happy people are reading comics, reading and buying comics at the end of the day.
I do agree that just something looking different on the shelf really gets my attention because there's just too much sameness.
These silly puppies, man. Oh my goodness.
How many do you have?
Well, I only have 2, but the neighbors also have 2. And so my studio is essentially like connected to where they live.
Gotcha.
I mean, my dog is my roommate too. He kind of lives down in my studio.
And it's as soon as the camera goes on, that's when it's playtime.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all good though. We have 3 and they're a handful.
Oh, they're lots of fun, that's for sure.
I got my cats right here. And they're being absolute mischiefs, getting on and off my desk to watch cat TV out the window. Plug in this ring light.
Oh, I forgot to put lines on that shit. Oh well, I'll come back to it.
So besides Dork, is anybody reading anything right now that's really knocking their socks off?
I did read. It's like 12 years too late, but I finally read The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. Have you heard of that?
I think I've heard of it, but I never. He's the one that did Understanding Comics, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I want to say I heard of it, and I was just like, I don't have time for this.
It was really, really good.
You should.
What is it about? What's the premise?
It's like a young artist who really wants to make an impact, and he's like willing to do anything to do that. And he kind of makes a deal with the devil to get some special abilities that will enhance his sculpting abilities. But he meets a girl along the way, and his priorities kind of change. It does some really cool stuff with the form of comics, Scott McCloud is such a master of how to put a comic together that he just like hits every plot point with like the full force of the medium. And there's some stuff that he did, particularly at the end, that are just like maybe some of like the most emotional stuff I've like ever seen in a comic book before.
Wow.
In terms of like the human experience of like being an artist and knowing you only have so much time to make art, or like how do you get people to notice, or how do you get people to read?
Yeah, and I think Zap is also well worth your time too, which is Scott McCloud's other book. It's a much longer series, I believe, but Zap is really, really good. It's kind of if Understanding Comics was a superhero book, but it also wasn't trying to take like superheroes too seriously either. But it's also amazing, just like technically and in a formalist way. Yeah. I've just been rereading my library, man, because I can't get monthly books up here. So unless I do digital, but I'm not doing that. So I've just been rereading my own personal library, man. I got plenty of comics to dig through, and
yeah, I've got so many things to read that who knows if I'll forget to them. I'm looking at like shelves full of books that I haven't read yet.
Yeah, I just reread Razor Blades, which is Tinian's horror magazine.
Ooh, you didn't know he did that.
Yeah, he did that with Steve Fox, and that was a really cool read. It's kind of anthology style.
I love that.
There's a lot of different kinds of takes on horror. And then I'm rereading my library editions of Hellboy. But I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anything. I mean, like, I'm excited. I don't know. Like, I'm excited for The Fourth Father.
Oh, with Mateo Zera.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't even read like a ton of like. I've barely read any Absolute Batman. I've barely read any Dork. Like I've got so much to dig through from just my collection that I haven't been keeping up with like what's actually coming out.
Yeah. Oh, I have two recommendations that are new things coming out. One is Spirit of Shadows with Daniel Ziegler and Nick Magnetti.
I've been reading that. I'm halfway through the second issue.
Yeah, like I love Nick's art and like
yeah, I agree.
And the story is good too. It feels like good like 70s Marvel horror stuff. And the other one that I think is excellent is Dave Chisholm's Is Ted Okay? Have you guys heard of that?
Oh God, that's so fucking good.
Yeah. And I know Dave. He's a guy out of Rochester. And so I got to read the PDF of issue 1 because he was just trying to get people to read it.
Oh man,
that maybe one of my favorite first issues of anything ever.
I was hooked. I was so hooked when I got it. I heard him on Comic Book Couples Counseling podcast, and I was actually on the way to my local shop, and when I got in the parking lot, I went ahead and added it to my pull list.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is for me, and I've not regretted it.
Yes, 100% agree. And I like Dave's stuff, but like this is hitting harder for me than his other stuff that he's done. And I think his other stuff is very good.
See, this is my first time reading any of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. I love how his rendering, he's so detailed in his rendering, but he does so much of it in color as opposed to strictly with black.
Yeah. And he switches up his medium and his the way he colors and stuff too. Like he uses color pencil a lot in the original art, and then he changes it a lot.
I noticed that in the second issue that a lot of the background stuff was like, you could tell it was colored pencil, and it looks great.
Yeah. I keep bugging him to do a commission of my characters, Leslie the Robot and Beatrice. I think he may be working on something for me too, which would be awesome.
That would be.
I would have to hold on to that and make that like the cover to my next trade paperback.
Yeah.
I have a dream, Yang. One day, Trump will come through those doors. I have a dream.
I've also been reading and really enjoying Roots of Madness from Stephanie Williams. Has anyone read that?
No.
Oh man, it's so good. It's like a historical horror. It's a black woman who is post-slavery ends up going, because she is like a doctor, going to this place and finding out that she's part of this like almost like magical group of people, I guess is a decent way to try to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's body horror elements in it. It's wild, but she's also brought in like real history. Like she had oh god, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I knew exactly who it was. Madam C.J. Walker, the woman who invented Relaxer, is a character in that book. I'm like, holy shit, that's cool.
Hell yeah. This came out like late last year. Probably one of the best things I've read in a bit was A Garden of Spheres by Linnea Sterte. There's a Swedish cartoonist. It is. I mean, her art is incredible. It's feels very like 70s, 80s, like European, like, hints of Mobius and stuff like that. And it's a very just like simple or seemingly simple kind of like story in a weird fantasy world, and it's like lots of just little vignettes. Some of the characters from one pop up in others, and it's very much like a vibe piece in a lot of ways.
That's rad.
I probably dig that. What was that called again?
A Garden of Spheres. Piao 2 is the publisher.
Pumpkinheads looks good too. Dave Baker and Nicole Guzman's book.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Did that just get announced, or is that coming out?
It's coming out. I don't know when. But Halloween Boy is coming out too on Oni Press.
Yeah,
that's like coming out soon.
Oni's doing some good shit.
I haven't kept up with what Oni's doing. I only know that they picked up Halloween Boy finally.
Blood Type was really good.
Yeah, I liked all of their anthologies. I don't know if I have all of them, but I've been definitely picking up Cruel Universe. That's my favorite one.
Trying to remember, is that the sci-fi one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one's good.
They actually have a Humble Bundle on right now for a bunch of digital comics.
I saw that, like, today, I think.
I think I probably already have at least most of them, though. That's the only reason I wouldn't get it.
I'm terrible, honestly, with digital, so those really don't attract me a whole lot. Outside of, like, can I donate to a good cause?
Yeah.
I started to do this thing where when I bought the house that I'm in right now, the people who left the house like left the TV down in what's my studio now. And so what I'll do is I'll hook that to my computer and I'll like super zoom in on the PDFs, and I have a little like walking pad treadmill. And so like I'll read them while I'm like on the treadmill, and that's been working out pretty good for me.
That's cool.
Yeah. I probably read volume 1 of Akira before. I was like, you know what? I bet I could get these through my library. But I do like that experience. I don't hate it.
I do use Hoopla through my library to get all sorts of stuff digitally. And
ooh, I know that I can do that. I haven't done it yet. I just got Libby to work, but I'm going to do Hoopla next.
Hoopla is pretty rad. They have like movies and TV shows too.
That's awesome. Like, I always throw my wife under the bus because she likes to watch stuff on streaming.
Yeah,
like Discovery and like she likes all that streaming stuff. If it was, well, my daughter also likes Disney Plus, and but if it were solely up to me, I would probably just use like go through library stuff.
The library is an unsung hero in this day and age, man.
100%.
I agree, dude. That's one of the only places I can get comics from here. It's the library.
It's great for that.
They have so much stuff for my daughter to do too. Like we're probably at the library like 2 or 3 times a week.
That's awesome, man.
And even more so now because my buddy started working there a couple of years ago. The guy who used to own a shop in my town. And so like it's great because like my daughter will have something fun to do, and she'll have like toys and stuff to play with and books. And then I can catch up with a buddy of mine too. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it is. I need to go start using the makerspace at our main library branch. Damn it! I literally just spilled ink on spilled ink.
Oh man, not the first, dude. I promise you.
I did it last time too. It's terrible. I might just leave it. Be like, spilled ink exclusive.
You have to brand it with the CWS logo now. I'm sorry.
Law.
You can put it at the. That's your ad placement discount.
How about this?
You had 12 minutes and you couldn't do it. Couldn't finish.
Well, Max saw me spill ink. Was it even before we started?
I don't know. I've done it before too. It just happens, man.
And then I tried to save it with whiteout, and it was like, there's no save.
Yeah, it's rough. When in doubt, spill ink on it and say, "Well, now it's garbage."
Yeah. I remember when I was a freshman in college, and I was doing an illustration project. I was doing it all in ink, and the professor came around and was like looking at my stuff, and then like literally saw me spill ink on my thing. Like I spilled the whole little jar.
Oh.
And she was like, and she came back around. And she's like, "Oh, were you upset when that happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, a little bit."
I was making a portrait and in a mixed media class, and my professor came around and was like, "Wow, this is looking really good. Now break it." What? I was like,
These guys,
okay.
they always say stuff like that.
I think you're
Like
smart because
So
you're
funny. It's kind of
They're
goofy.
teachers or something.
It's kind of goofy. It's silly.
I mean, she was right. Like, it was way more interesting when I just split the portrait in half, like a comic will split one scene between multiple panels.
yeah.
So it was like, oh, I can do. It's like I had to have permission to do that or something, you know.
Yeah, I get that. I always think of Bill Sienkiewicz, the breaking of things. Have you ever watched him do a demo of anything?
Oh, I've watched so many.
It's like, oh, this is looking so good, and he's like, I'm gonna destroy it, and then he saves it, and it's like it's coming back, it's better than before, destroys it again. The closest I've been able to get to something like that is I'll work on like a sketch or something, and I'll hand it to my daughter and give her a bunch of markers, and then she'll like scribble all over it or do something with it, and then I'll get it back and I'll try to like save it with my whiteout and like brush pens and stuff. But it gets that Sienkiewicz type look. I want to do something that's like a whole book like that. Oh,
That sounds pretty cool.
I mean, that's why you have kids, so you can do art projects with them.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we got like 12 minutes left, so we'll start the never-ending round table again. We'll do our plugs and get on out of here. Anton, do you want to go ahead and show us what you did?
Yeah, sure.
Your plugs?
Wow,
So
that was great.
started the backgrounds on both of these pages prior, but knocked all of this out and got moving on this one as well.
Very fun.
Yeah,
it's like it's like Basquiat meets zine style.
Yeah. I'm basically just trying to do something completely free form. Like all of the cutout text is in true like cutout poetry form. Just like, yeah, that looks neat together. Sure, why not? See what with it.
I know, I love the letters.
Yeah. I've got a convention next weekend, Staple Independent Media Expo in Austin. A bunch of other friends of the show are going to be there. Rohigashi, Rick Lopez, Jade Louder, Isabel Red, perhaps a few others blanking on. I'll be debuting issue 3 of Zethia Space Witch there. Which, in fact,
that looks great.
Thought of it too. Last time I was on Spilled Ink, I was working on this double splash. So you can go see that get created.
Nice.
Are you selling that online?
Not yet. It will be available through Cosmic Lion Productions once it is online. We did a limited run for Staple, and then in the next couple months, it should be online as well.
Sweet, dude.
Straight up
got
look
a
like
little
Homestar Runner stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
A new little RPG that I wrote too. That's just
Dude, that's sick.
brand
That's
new.
cool.
Also, speaking of limited color palettes,
Yeah.
a whole RPG of going out on tour as a punk band in space in the distant future of the year 2012.
That's right.
If only.
Yeah, that thing's dope. I love that little
There you
RPG booklet fold out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty brilliant. Sweet, dude. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Fun. Okay, there we go. I gotta learn how to do hosting all over again. And then we've got, let me see. I can't throw. All right, Austin. Show us what you worked on and do your plugs, man.
All right. I'll just put a line there. So I've been just kind of going back and forth here and there on these different pages, trying to get the line work just right and ready to get all the blacks on it and finish them up.
Yeah,
This
that's
is what a finished page
oh, that's
tends to
awesome.
look like. But yeah, I've got her pulling out the soul stone of this demon creature and then slashing it in half, and then it gets warped into itself. And I started having fun with these little fractals of
Yeah.
That looks sick.
nobody will notice. Yeah, it's been fun. And then this is page 35 of the issue number 4 that is coming up on Kickstarter in 2 weeks. I'm going to be at the Huntsville Expo, so I have yet to meet anybody in Comix launch or on Comix Wellspring that is close, but if anybody comes by, I'll be there. Yeah, and follow the campaign. I'm trying to get 100 followers before it launches, and that will unlock a digital download of one of my characters, not safe for work.
Is that the one you were working on before?
No. I'm trying to get like a library of not safe for work going, and so we can make some art books and add-ons and all kinds of stuff, because I like drawing nude women. I mean, who would have thought?
It happened. Sweet, dude. Socials? Do you have any social shout outs?
Yeah, so you can go to AmericanDemonComics.com, and that's basically got everything. I just added a tab to go subscribe to Substack on there. It's got links to the Kickstarter. It's got links to my socials. So AmericanDemonComics.com, and you can also read Envy there. It's kind of a webtoon.
Sweet.
Or kind of a webcomic. Yeah.
Sweet. Hell yeah. Theoretically, Brandon should have all the socials in the description. I don't know. All right, Hobbes, what are you working on? And I'm gonna do your plugs if I can get you to hold on. Does it hate me? It might hate me. Here, hold on one sec. We're gonna do this.
My cats are going crazy for me.
No, it won't let me realize for some reason. That's so weird. I can shuffle you guys around, but I can't maximize Hobbes.
That's okay.
I
I only did one panel. I'll just zoom in on it.
It looks fantastic, dude.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So this is the first page of Fuzz Bouquet Chapter 6. I was just working with Comix, and I haven't done Copic marker work in a while, so like I was refilling some of them as I went, and the usual headaches of Comix. But this may one day be available in a year or more. In the meantime, you can listen to my dog bark, and also you can go to fuzzbouquet.com. This is the first issue of Fuzz Bouquet, and there are 5 issues currently. This is the one that I'm working. It's a continuing story. It'll probably be like 12 issues. I'll probably be like 75 years old when it's done. But yeah, it's a fun fantasy story, all ages, with the fuzzy monster who wants to be a cheesemaker and then ends up getting in way over his head and all sorts of goofy, silly stuff. And I'll be at RavenCon in Richmond at the end of April. I can't remember the dates exactly, but I've never done it before. It's a literature sort. It's like a sci-fi horror literature inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Is how it started. But they also accept guests, and if you're accepted as a guest, you don't have to pay. So I thought, hey, that sounds like a great opportunity to reach more folks, because I'm all about finding different ways of not buying a table. So, I mean, and I've heard things about the con before, so I was like, it seemed like a good way to get the word out, and it'll be interesting seeing a crowd that's more interested in like literature and storytelling over the like graphic novel stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with.
Very cool, dude. And go bid on Hobbes' skateboard.
Oh yeah, Four Color Fantasies. Find them on Facebook or Instagram. But on Facebook, they basically do most of their work on Facebook for their fundraiser. But there's a ton of stuff. There's people working in the like pros that submitted pieces. I know there's a Stan Sakai Usagi Yojimbo piece that I bid on. I've already been outbid on it, but I tried. But there's a bunch of really cool stuff. So check out Four Color Fantasies, Winchester Literacy auction. And that's it.
Hell yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you work on today? And what's your stuff, man?
So I'm working on, this is going to be page 1 of like another little vignette of Was It the Robot, all driving towards a lame dad joke. So my quest to do like a beautifully illustrated groany dad joke continues. Here's some Baby Huey.
The horrifying Baby Huey.
And the Rob Liefeld Cable Baby Huey earlier. So he's got the fully pink background there. So maybe this will be in the Baby Huey zine coming soon. I don't know. But yeah, I've got I'm working on this. Hopefully, I'll have this done in time for Free Comic Book Day, and I might do something with my local shop in Oswego for that. Global Comics has my newest book on there, Halloween Special, which has 3 short stories featuring Wellesley the Robot and his crush Beatrice, going on adventures through the fall season and Halloween, and you can read it for free right on Global Comics. I like that format. It's got some other stuff on there too. What else do I have going on? I'm doing the Syracuse Geek Confluence at Syracuse University coming up in the next few weeks, and then May I'm doing a show in Rochester Indie Comics Expo. So that's coming right up. I think that's May 11th. And then I got into IC3 again in Providence, Rhode Island. That'll be like September 26th or something like that. But those are my shows that are coming up, and I'm just chipping away at little vignettes of the Wesley and Beatrice story. I have a bigger story, but I'm just breaking it apart into chunks, getting little bits done here and there. But I did like how I got some more foliage built around them, like an natural.
Great. Yeah, that framing like that, it looks awesome, dude.
Well, because that way you don't have to worry about the bleed if it all goes to white.
Yeah.
So
dope, dude.
Thank you.
Well, happy to have you joining in.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thanks for having me.
You're the unofficial co-host.
I'll take it. I'll wear it like a badge of honor.
Dope. Kris,
Yes.
you work on today, my man, and plug your stuff.
Okay, so I got a whole page inked today. This is page 23 from AHA. All I'm working on right now is the storyteller portions going in between the actual stories that we're presenting. And then I'm quarter of the way through page 29. So there's a story in between. AHA is on Kickstarter right now. It is live. We're plugging away towards being funded. 8 stories, 3 different covers. There's original art available. Real wide variety going on there. as far as socials, literally Punk Rock Chris on just about everything.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, it looks awesome. And yeah, make sure to go check out Aha on Kickstarter. And I've been me. I've been doing giant layouts on giant paper. And I finished a fish comic, which pretty much sums up about every episode of Spilled Ink. Is working on fishes and doing new pencils. But yeah, go pick up Gag. It's less than $5. It's over 60 pages of interviews and art and comics and all sorts of stuff. This guy has got, you know, Big Daddy Sean from Ink Pulp, Big Daddy Eli from Cosmic Lion, and Matt Emmons from Second Best Press. Some interviews with them and some really cool stuff and information. And then I offset print these and hand cut and bind and mail all of these. So yeah, you can go pick one up on artofmf.com. And I don't know, go check out CWS or something. They got a new website for Comics One, but I'm sure you're tuned into that if you're tuned into this show. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Happy to hang out with you guys for another night, and I'll catch you all next week.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Bye.